One final reminder, we're going to get started in a minute, so if you want to come in and find your seat as close to the front of the auditorium as possible. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Samantha White. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm honored to welcome you to the Ethical Society of St. Louis. We are an ethical humanist community where people come together to explore big questions, live with intention, and work towards a more just and compassionate world. We are in our spring series, Empowered Together, where we are exploring what it means to affirm human dignity and build a community where everyone belongs. And part of that work is recognizing that some of the most important challenges we face are not individual, they are shared. They ask something of all of us together. This morning we turn to one of those collective challenges, climate change, and consider what it asks of us, not just as individuals, but as a community. Through theater and reflection, you'll experience 2 short plays from the Uppity Theater Company, part of an international effort to use storytelling as a way to deepen understanding and spark action. We'll also hear a brief reflection connecting these themes to the work happening right here in our St. Louis region. At the Ethical Society, we believe that ethics are lived, not just thought about, and that the most meaningful change happens when we come together, reflect together, and act together. Thank you for being a part of that this morning. As we begin today, please take a moment to silence your devices so that we can be fully present with one another. Thank you. So each week, we read our youth education core values as a way to bring us together and remind us of our shared commitments. This morning, our core values reader is Lucas Seeger Ludekenhoff. Please join me in welcoming Lucas to the stage. Step stool's not tall enough. You got it?
Every person is important and unique. Every person deserves to be treated fairly and kindly. I can learn from everyone. I am a part of this earth. I cherish it and all the life upon it. I learn from the world around me using my senses, mind, and feelings. I am a member of the world community, which depends on the cooperation of all the people for peace and justice. I can learn from the past to build for the future. I am free to question. I choose what I believe. I accept responsibility for my choices and actions. I strive to live my values.
Thank you so much, Lucas. He was on his tippy toes. So you did a fabulous job with some hard work here. Okay. These values remind us that community members of all ages help make this a special place to learn and grow together. Youth members, thank you so much for joining us up here today, and have a really great time, and we'll see you after platform. Okay. We're joined this morning by the Uppity Theater Company under the direction of award-winning playwright and director Joan Lipkin. Their work is part of a growing international movement using theater to deepen understanding and spark conversation about climate change. Joan has spent nearly a decade creating and producing climate-focused work with productions staged around the world. Today, we get to experience that work live, right here in our community. The first piece today is titled, "That Painting at the Metropolitan Museum of Art." This performance features a small, human moment that opens up larger questions, inviting us to reflect on how we see the world and our place within it. Please join me in welcoming the Uppity Theater Group and Joan to the stage for a brief introduction.
There we go. I'm using my outside theater voice. I love having a stool. I feel so tall. I am so grateful to be here because, I'm actually a member of the Ethical Society. It's just half the time I'm off doing something else. And a number of years ago, I received your Ethical Humanist of the Year award. And I think, thank you. And I think because I believe in using art to amplify democracy and equity, and that these are humanist values. The making and sharing of art are humanist values. So just very briefly about the two plays you're going to see. First, you'll see one. Then you're going to hear from our wonderful Missouri Coalition for the Environment leader, Jared Opsal, and not only will he give you an update about what's going on in Missouri, but he can take questions afterwards. But we're going to have these two plays that are going to kind of bookend our experience. And the first play, that painting at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, I wrote. And what excites me about offering that to you today is that it gives a intergenerational view on how people of different ages might be viewing climate change and how they might be thinking we should respond differently, right? And it's a very interesting piece. It's been getting done quite a lot, and it's really a thrill for me to be able to share with you, my friends, today. Then you'll hear from Jared, and a couple of other things, of course, on your platform. And then we are going to close with a piece called Homo Sapiens that is so delightful and has been done all over the world. And it's bringing together some of our finest actors today, this morning, all of this. And it's going to kind of give us a hint into the future. Like, where have we been, but maybe also where are we going? So we just give ourselves applause for all being here this morning in community? And let's welcome that Uppity Theater Company, and let's get going with our first play. And here's our friend Sydney, and we have some friends that are joining us.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Mr. Fish. But I got you that job. Do you know what I had to do to get you that job?
I applied.
I put in a good word because I know people who
I know you have connections.
I do. I have connections. Do you know how many applications the Met gets every year? And most of them will just sit on someone's desk unless there's something about them that's
I have qualifications, Dad. I'm majoring in art history, remember?
and to be a guard. Why you wanted to be a fucking guard instead of applying to the education department.
Oh, this is classic. You are such a snob.
I didn't send you to Smith to be a fucking guard.
You sent me? You sent me? This is the language of the colonizer.
Oh, this again. No, this is the language of your father. A good guy who works hard to provide for his family. And yes, the education department would certainly have been more suitable.
For what? Someone of my class? Of my gender? You know, I'm surprised you didn't want me to work in the fucking gift shop.
At least the education department would have prospects for advancement. But no, you wanted to be a guard. I just thought you wanted to be near the paintings.
I did. I love art.
Then why this? I can't believe you did this. You could have ruined it, this masterpiece.
Not a chance. There's a cover in front of it. We had it very carefully planned.
I don't understand. I don't. What does throwing Campbell's soup onto a masterpiece have to do with climate change?
It's an act, Dad. An act of desperation, and now they are finally listening.
They. And who is they?
The media, the news.
The news. I see. So now your name's going to be in the paper, Margaret.
I told you to call me Max.
I'm sorry, Max. Max, whatever. Look, the point is that what you've
This
done
isn't about me, Dad. When people don't listen, people in power with vast wealth and resources will not listen. We have no choice but to shut things down, to disrupt.
Is this the crap they're teaching you at Smith?
I am my own person, Dad. I make up my own mind. My friends and me, we have to speak up. This is the world that you have passed on to us. This world that is all about money, transaction, extraction, money, money, money.
Well, we spoiled you. I mean, that's obvious. The private school, the summer vacations, the art lessons, the therapy. My God, do you think it grows on trees?
Well, the trees are dying, Dad. Have you checked out the deforestation of the rainforest?
It's getting hot in here. Do you think it's hot in here?
Expect more. More heat surges, more blackouts, more deaths.
I hear you, Maggie.
Max. Max.
I'm sorry, Max. I do. But, you know, there is such a thing as natural variability. You know, changes in temperature are to be expected.
And what Fox News report did you hear that on? Remember the heat wave last summer? It was impossible. And the fires in California and the flooding. My God, the flooding.
Yes, but I try. I try as a father to protect you from this.
By doing what? Renting a summer home in Martha's Vineyard? In 10 years, that will be underwater. And then what? And what about everyone else? Everyone that can't go?
I can't save the world, Maggie.
Max!
I'm sorry, Max.
It's as if you're not even listening.
I am listening. But I have had 20 years of thinking of you as Maggie, of calling you my daughter. I'm sorry if I can't wrap my feeble middle-aged brain around all of this. Really. But my first priority is to my family. That is the natural order of things, and I do a damn good job of providing for my family, and I'm not going to apologize for that.
Yeah, well, I don't buy into the myth of the nuclear family. I think we have a responsibility to things, to people beyond ourselves.
And you think I don't? Like, I don't give of my time and resources to try to ensure that some of our most precious assets are protected and shared. Our art, our history. I mean, that's why I joined this board, and believe me, it is a significant investment of time and capital. You have no idea. And how am I supposed to go back to that board and explain to them that a daughter of mine has masterminded this whole outrageous debacle?
Oh, I know all about this board of yours. People who made fortunes selling tear gas and Oxycontin and fighter planes and investing in fossil fuels.
It's more complicated than that. And when you are older, you will realize that.
It's greenwashing, Dad.
It's what?
Greenwashing? Using their fortunes to try to compensate for the fact that they are contributing to the destruction of the environment. It's on our list of demands.
Good God, I am trying to get you out of this hellhole.
Careful, Dad. We are still in your precious Met.
To get you out of this hellish situation. To hire a lawyer to expunge what I am praying is not a felony. And you have a list of demands.
Yes, we have a list of demands. Decolonize the place. All these museums, clean up the boards, get rid of the millionaires. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's make that billionaires on boards who compensate for their assault on the planet by paying to play. These gazillionaires that finance art trafficking, stealing antiquities from other countries just as they support the extraction of fossil fuels to boost their portfolios.
Well, I don't know how we got here.
I don't either.
I don't know what I'm going to tell your mother.
Tell her I'm fine.
Look at this place. I'm going to get you out of here. I'll post the bail whenever they determine what that is, and we'll go from there. We'll get some help. It's going to be okay. You'll see.
I don't want you to post bail.
You don't want me to post bail?
No.
Well, good God, what am I supposed to say to people? I go back to this board and say what?
Say that I'm staying once they sentence me. I have more messaging power if I stay, we decided.
Honey, they will forget about you. The news, the media.
I don't think so. They want the story. This is the story. We are the story.
They will. Tomorrow is another story. And your friends will abandon you. Your friends who don't have a rich father to try to make this go away.
My friends are not bad people.
Your friends will abandon you not because they are bad people, but because when it gets too hard, when this moment passes, when they have to get back to their lives, they will go. But your mother and I, we are who will be here. Your mother and I, your family.
Yeah, well, I will take my chances.
Aren't you scared?
Yes, of course, but this is about more than just being in jail.
I love you, my brave, brave girl. You were always so different, even as a child.
Please don't call me that.
What?
Girl, don't call me girl.
I'm sorry, Max. I'm really trying here.
I love you, Dad. Despite everything, I think you did the best that you could. But this world, this toxic masculinity.
The board has prepared a statement, and I think you should hear it. Quote, in recent weeks, there have been several attacks on works of art in international museum collections. The activists responsible for them severely underestimate the fragility of irreplaceable objects, which must be preserved as part of our world cultural heritage. Museums are places where people from a variety of backgrounds can engage in dialogue and which therefore enable social discourse. Our core tasks of collecting, researching, sharing, and preserving are more relevant than ever. End quote. More relevant than ever. That means our buildings, Max, our sacred buildings, and yes, our art. Think, for God's sake, think about what you are doing.
Well, I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree. A tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast. A tree that looks at God all day and lifts its leafy arms to pray. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
Thank you very much. You did a fabulous job. To ground today's experience in our local context, we're joined by Jared Opsal, Executive Director of the Missouri Coalition for the Environment. MCE is Missouri's independent, nonpartisan environmental organization working across the state to protect clean air, clean water, and a healthy environment for all. Through advocacy, education, and partnership, they help connect people to the issues that directly impact our communities. Jared will share a brief reflection on the environmental challenges facing our region and the work being done to address them, offering us a bridge from story into action. Please join me in welcoming Jared.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out and enjoying what Joan has put together and her entire company, and listening a little bit about what we've been doing across the state, and a little bit about what we've been doing for the past 57 years we've been in the state of Missouri. So our vision at the Missouri Coalition for the Environment, really to summarize what you'll see up here, is to instill this value of environmentalism in your day-to-day lives. So imagine a situation where you're waking up and it's an automatic of what type of groceries am I buying, and there are no limitations on price on either, between a box of cereal that is more harmful for the environment and is more extractive versus a box of cereal that is not grown using a lot of chemicals and herbicides, pesticides, and other things. That wheat is not grown in that way, and it's actually grown locally. So that's really what we're striving for, is like those types of values are instilled and constant throughout our lives, and those choices where you have to make a choice right now many times of choosing the more expensive product, using that grocery example, versus a less expensive product for the more environmentally friendly one. We're working on policies and systems change so that that is no longer an issue. We're moving those types of barriers, and it makes it even easier to make those choices where you're thinking about the environment first. The example I always like to use, because we have done this in our society, is think about recycling. When recycling first started coming around and being more common in the mid-'80s to mid-'90s, and it started being offered by municipalities as a standard with your solid waste management, picking up at the corner from your house, many people weren't using it. But now when you look around, every single place such as here, other churches, businesses, your homes, recycling is a standard, and it's out there. And especially younger people, they get upset with you if you're not putting it in the right bin. They'll call you out on it. So, I mean, I think that's just a really good example of we've done this in our society where we've instilled an environmental value. And this is, again, something that we're working on constantly to make a standard for all these decisions that we are faced with in our lives. So our mission really is to educate, organize, and advocate in defense of Missouri's people and their environment. And really, we kind of look at it as like that's stepping up. So educating, you have to know about an issue. Then we have to get people together, organized around that issue. And that final step is to make that change is the advocate portion. So speaking with your elected officials, working with government officials on different more internal policies that don't require legislation, advocating through the court system, which is required sometimes. Sometimes a judge or a jury has to decide what's going on with this issue. Advocating for businesses to change their practices. It's from everything from boycotts to people showing up and protesting in front of certain businesses and demanding those changes. So when I was mentioning our history, we've been around for now 57 years. We have a lot that we've accomplished in that time. Our very first action was to win the seminal ruling regarding floodplain development. That was back in 1971. That was one of the first things that we could point our flag in the ground and say, we accomplished this. And what that meant was, when we won that lawsuit, is we set a standard where developments could no longer be created and put in floodplains right next to levees. And right now you have to require a federal permit to do such a thing. Back before this, it was kind of wide open. You could build wherever you wanted to. And it was our organization, founded right here in the St. Louis area out of a conference in the Missouri Botanical Garden, that set that standard for the entire country. And we've been doing these sorts of things ever since. Most recently, and I'll talk a little bit about this last one, we led the efforts for the passage of an expansion of what's called RECA, the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act. So just last year, we were able to get that passed, and that included St. Louis folks in this program, so now they could be compensated for the harm caused to them by the radioactive waste that was left in our communities, most notably along Coldwater Creek and Westlake Landfill. There's also a site in St. Charles County, Weldon Spring. In those areas, people have been suffering the contamination, so now they can be compensated for it. So really what we look at is when we decide if we're going to take action on an issue, we kind of have this whole process, as you might imagine. So it's just related to the climate crisis or environmental justice. So climate crisis, everything that we're dealing with having to deal with climate change, from mitigating it and preventing any further climate change to adapting and what's occurring right now in our communities. In the environmental justice component, really what that means, to summarize, is putting emphasis on communities who have suffered the brunt of pollution for decades. And those are predominantly lower income communities and communities of color. So those are the communities that have really suffered the most. They have the most environmental harms. They've suffered health consequences to economic consequences because of these. So we put an emphasis on those communities in the work and the policies and legislation that we engage in. So it's looking at who's impacted, who benefits, who is already involved, and then who should lead. We are a team of 9 individuals spread across the state. Here in St. Louis, we have someone in Columbia, Kansas City, and Springfield as well. But, as I think robust as we are as an organization, we're nowhere near meeting the total need that we have across our state. But we have lots and lots of partners throughout the entire state. And we're kind of that place to turn to navigate for people. If we can't help with an issue, besides just providing our online resources, we can direct you with an organization who might be more engaged with that issue. So going over some current programs, I've kind of alluded to some of this. We work a lot in that local, state, and federal policy. Most of our work is at the state level, so we're in Jefferson City quite a bit, working with the elected officials there, so your state senators and state representatives. Also all the different state agencies that have anything to do with the environment, and different committees and commissions that actually create the rules based off of the laws that are passed. So we really engage in that and make it easy then for you to engage. So when you become a member, when you sign up for our email list, you start getting information that I just like to explain it like hitting the easy button for engaging in advocacy. So there might be a piece of legislation that's moving, and now it's ready for a committee hearing. So now we're going to let you know who's on that committee, what the issue is with that legislation, how to contact them, what your deadline is for the contact. Because if you didn't know, if you've never really engaged in your own advocacy work before, a lot of times if people are just kind of scattershot in what they're sending out and saying, hey, I want you to address this general issue, I will say the elected representative will get that, but then it gets filed away and forgotten pretty quickly. So you really need to be most effective, engage right at that moment when there's a piece of legislation there. Or you need to be organized to be pushing for a piece of legislation to be proposed. So one way we do that, one of the things that we offer, it's up on our website, we have this bill tracker, and you can sign up for email alerts through this right on the website, because there are, even just at the state level of government, 300 to 400 bills related to the environment every single session. So that is a lot to track, especially as an individual. It's a lot to track as an agency with a handful of folks paying attention to this. So, we don't envision a situation where everybody's going to be able to spend their time paying attention to every single piece of legislation. And that's really why one of our value propositions as an organization and why we exist is, again, to make that easy for you. So you can get on there, you can say, I really care about water. And you can click on all the things related to water. And then you're going to get those updates about what's moving, what's not, because sometimes a bill is proposed and it sits and never goes anywhere. So you really don't have to worry about it unless all of a sudden, boom, it has a committee hearing. Now it's time to start acting and paying more attention to it. So some other current programs, I mentioned the efforts we've had in North St. Louis City and County, a little bit in St. Charles County around radioactive waste. So this is actually an issue we've been engaged with for decades. One of our co-founders, Kay Dry, she was really the mother of uncovering documents and uncovering all the issues around the United States nuclear program and how they were really just decimating communities. In essence, they weren't just addressing the waste. They'd create the product, whether it was nuclear fuel for a power plant or nuclear weapons, and then a lot of times the leftover waste was completely mismanaged and sort of kicked the can down the road, and many communities were harmed because of it. So we've been engaging in this community for quite a while, letting them know about the problem, first of all. Again, kind of our whole process, educate, organize, advocate, getting people connected with each other, and then that final step of, all right, here are some things that we can do to start addressing the problem. And if you're not very familiar with it, this is a really good map that shows those cancer and autoimmune clusters in North St. Louis County, and it's going back to 2015. And you can see, if I can get there it goes. You can kind of see this line of where Coldwater Creek goes right up here. It's very faint blue. But you can see how they're very clustered around, and this is really where it started, is the Slaps and Laddie. And then there's also some material in Westlake landfill. So you can see how it's very clustered all around here. Oh, you got the cursor up there too, thank you. And that shows, some early data that we're like, okay, there's a major health issue here. This material that was left out in the open to blow in the wind, to run off when it rains into the nearby waterway. And then when it floods, it moves that material beyond the banks. It's starting to harm people, let alone just, you think of kids that just want to go play in the creek. I was one of those kids growing up. I'd go creek walking and just goof around for a few hours, just disappear playing out in the creek in our community in Edwardsville where I grew up. And kids are doing the same thing there, just as they do everywhere. They don't know any better. There are no signs, there are no blockages for people to access. Still, it was only about 2 years ago that they put up signs, and that was another one of our advocacy opportunities to get people engaged. So now, as we become more aware of this issue, we're starting to get some great research showing, what is the impact here and what is it looking like. And this is showing cancer rates and how they're increasing the closer you live to the creek. So this is, 5 to 20 kilometers away. It's just as likely to contract a cancer when you live that distance versus if you lived 100 miles away with no other environmental factors. And the closer you get to that creek, the higher incidence there are of cancers. This study just came out, it was only like 9 months ago, not even a year ago. And it was a group out of Harvard who engaged in this. So this gives you another visualization of what that looks like, that distance to the creek, number of cancer cases going up. So we've got some great public health data now backing up what we've been hearing from community for a long, long time. And it makes it very hard when you have that data paired with that community and their stories and they're organized. It makes it very hard for those elected officials to deny action. And that's why I think we've been seeing more action recently on this issue, from getting signs up finally to having RECA expanded. And we're working on some other things still too, which is an improved cleanup plan. And this right here shows why we need that cleanup plan. So in green, you see what is the natural level background radiation of these different elements here, from radium, thorium, and uranium. So those are radioactive elements. Those types of things exist just about everywhere, right here in this wood to, on the floor. We've evolved as a species to be able to handle that. That's just what it is like on our planet. But the cleanup level, or the level that triggers a cleanup by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers currently, you see with radium, it's about 5 times, about 13-ish times, and about 50 times more for uranium. So they won't clean up when they test unless they see, for uranium-238, they test it at just over 50 times that natural background level of radiation. Now, as you might imagine, we think that's completely unacceptable. This is still putting people in harm's way, and we need to change that cleanup plan. So this is one of those issues where it's not solved by legislation, it's solved by people showing up and going through really what's an arcane process of a 5-year review of the cleanups that they do with these different sites around the country. And we've been engaging in that and letting people know how they can use their voice, along with providing all the technical expertise of showing this is not a good plan for the community, and people are still going to be left in harm's way. So we have some flyers out there related to this. If you have family members, you yourself have been impacted by this, you want to learn more about RECA and that whole program, this kind of gives you the rundown. There's a QR code there you could scan. But again, we have a fact sheet right out there, and I'll be, as I think we talked about earlier, I'll be available afterwards for questions to talk more about this and other things. Really quickly, some other things. In rural parts of Missouri, we've been working on CAFOs, which stand for Concentrated Animal Feeding Operations. So those are, think of throwing a lot of animals in a very small confined space. Those animals create a lot of waste. This is what that waste looks like in rural parts of Missouri and other places in the country, these giant waste lagoons that they were completely unregulated. So this is something that we pushed for in the state legislature to start regulating these, have standards on these, and we actually got a piece of legislation passed 2 years ago that only had one no vote between both chambers. And because we were able to get, again, community informed, organized, and started pushing on this. So even elected officials that you might traditionally not think of as environmentalists, they were on board for solving this problem. Here's just an example of one of the town halls that we spoke at and were a part of, just filling that space in a very rural part of Missouri. Last issue I'm going to get into, I think I have about 5 more minutes, is talking about heat. You heard actually a little bit about it in the play and the performance that was just put on. So the 2 major issues that we're going to deal with, and we already are dealing with in Missouri related to climate change, are extreme flooding events and extreme heat events. So the heat one, I think, is a little more understandable. People expect climate change. It's getting warmer. Obviously, things are going to be hotter and warmer where we live, no matter where you live. And, of course, we are experiencing that, too. What you're looking at with this chart here is showing blue would be below the average temperature over the past 150-ish years. Red would be above that average. And you can see it's kind of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for quite a while. Then about the last 50 years or so, it's been a steady increase to where it's very dark red. You see the past 10 or so years. So, things are really on pace for what a lot of scientists have been predicting for quite a while. We're getting warmer. We're going to continue to get warmer. And what our focus on this now is, okay, this is already here. We've been seeing heat-related illnesses and deaths increase for quite a while now. We need to start adapting now. We're beyond any kind of prevention of this issue. It's in front of us. We're still going to prevent for getting even worse. I'm not saying we don't stop on the climate change mitigation and prevention side, but we also need to be adapting and adapting as quickly as possible. And I like to describe it, too, when I think about all the different outdoor activities that people engage in St. Louis, from going to a ball game, going to the Muni, going to a festival, outdoor festival like Earth Day, which is next weekend, but more of the thing of the summer festivals. I think of the International Festival. Are you going to want to go to that when it's been 2-3 weeks of 100-degree weather and we have high humidity in St. Louis on top of that? What's the economic impact to those facilities? So, this is something that's already occurring, and we need to start thinking about how we start addressing this, and that's what we've been working on. We'll have a draft plan now. It'll be public this summer, about 40 different ordinances that we're proposing for the city of St. Louis to start addressing this issue on a wide variety of things, from obvious things like, hey, we need more trees. Okay, well, how do we do it? Where do they go? How do we pay for it? What types of trees? All those types of details. We're really kind of spoon-feeding for the elected officials, because a lot of times if you make it easy for them, if they're already there agreeing with you values-wise, then it makes it easier to move that piece of legislation along. Other thing we have is this Advocacy Resource Center. This is kind of our catch-all for helping communities engaging on environmental issues. And there's a QR code for it right there if you wanted to pull it up. But we offer many grants to community coalitions and different organizations like a church or ethical society We offer technical assistance, travel stipends to show up in Jeff City, or even if it's DC for your issue. So it's really to help engage and lift up all the different efforts from different groups around the entire state. That's the whole purpose of this resource center. We have many different events. I'll skip over that. Here is my contact info, because I'm running out of time here. I also have my business cards out there, but I want to thank you for taking the time here and just implore you to get engaged. You're engaged here. We need people engaged on our front. We're a member-based organization, and it's for a programmatic reason. When we show up in an elected official's office, when we can say we have 50 members in your district, they perk up, because those are 50 voters. And those are 50 voters who are engaged enough that they're signing up for an organization. So they know they can engage more people. So that makes a difference, and that's why we're able to engage many times with, again, elected officials who you don't think of as being environmentalists. We're able to get things passed with them. The other piece is for litigation. We just filed suit against the EPA because they rolled back their what's called the endangerment finding of greenhouse gases. In other words, they're saying greenhouse gases are fine, we don't need to regulate them. They're not causing a human health issue, they're not causing any problems at all. So that's a rollback of a determination that was done a handful of years ago. We think that's completely inaccurate scientifically, and it's dangerous to our public health, so we filed suit. But we cannot file suit unless we have an impacted member. We can't just as an organization go around doing that. We need to have a member who's impacted. We're also about to file suit against the city of Kansas City for development in a floodplain. We're actually putting that together right now, but it's a member who's impacted. That's why we're able to do that. So memberships are very important. So this is something that you care about deeply. I implore you to get engaged and sign up to be a member with MCE. And with that, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy the final performance.
Thank you so much for giving us ways to get involved and be active in things that we care about and that are important for humanity. At the Ethical Society of St. Louis, our mission shapes everything we do, from Sunday platforms to youth programs, music, service, and partnerships in the wider community. Our work is sustained through the generosity of our members and friends. Today's collection supports the ongoing life of the Ethical Society and allows us to continue offering programs, gatherings, and opportunities to live our values together. Most members of our community support the Ethical Society through regular monthly giving or an annual gift. For those who'd like to contribute in person today, the collection baskets and the QR code on the screen are simple ways to participate. Every contribution helps bring our mission to life. If you'd like to stay connected to our community, we invite you to subscribe to our weekly newsletter for updates on upcoming programs, service opportunities, and ways to get involved. You all can pass the collection baskets whenever you're ready. Now, we have some time for announcements. The third Sunday Dinner Theater meets tonight, April 19th at 5:30 p.m. in the Becker Room for dinner and a play reading. The play will be The Great Leap by Lauren Yee. Please bring an item of food for the potluck dinner. Our caring team is made up of member volunteers who meet each month to celebrate member milestones and offer support during difficult times through card reading, phone calls, hospital visits, and more. It is a simple, thoughtful way we stay connected. If you have something to celebrate or know someone who could use a little encouragement, you can reach out to caringteam@ethicalstl.org or use the new button at the bottom of the weekly newsletter on Wednesday. If you are interested in joining the Caring Team, please also reach out to caringteam@ethicalstl.org. Join 20 ethical good deeders to pick up trash on North Riverfront Park. We're hoping for a lovely spring Saturday morning of work on May 2nd from 9 to 11 a.m. We will be partnering with the St. Louis Aquarium Foundation Stream Team as a part of a year-long cleanup series to prevent plastic pollution from entering the water supply. Gloves, bags, and light snacks will be provided. Please register online or get more information from Stephanie Segala before April 27th. Exploring Ethical Society. Eager to get involved in what the Ethical Society has to offer? Stick around in the auditorium after platform on Sunday, May 3rd for Exploring Ethical Society. There you will get to meet some of the members who have stepped up as lay leaders to organize groups and teams, to tackle community projects, share their passions, and to find togetherness with their fellows. This event is especially helpful for newer members and visitors, but everyone is welcome, whether you're brand new or have been here a while and want to learn something new. Come explore, ask questions, and make connections after platform on May 3rd. Okay, and finally, we welcome back the Uppity Theater Company for one more performance piece titled Homo Sapiens. This piece invites us to reflect on who we are as a species, our impact, our responsibility, and the choices that shape our shared future. Please welcome back the Uppity Theater Company and Joan to the stage for a brief introduction. Do you want the podium again?
Yeah, I do, 'cause I'm short. Thank you, Samantha, because I'm short. I just want to personally thank Jared Opsal for this incredible work that he is doing with the Missouri Coalition for the Environment. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Louise and Claire, for inviting us, Samantha for hosting, Bear and Samuel for the tech support, and thank you, all of you, for being here, because we can always make choices about where we want to be, right? So our first play, that painting at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, featured Ann Truca and Steve Lewis. And in our last piece that we're going to do now, called Homo Sapiens by Chantal Bilodeau, we will look at where we're going and also where we've been. And guess what? It's fun. And there's humor. And the reason for this is because we think in these very challenging times, we need hope and we need humor. So I think you're going to have fun with this. I do want to say that we have a larger collection that we call Plays for the Planet. You just saw 2 pieces today. We want to offer that to perform for you in different settings, classrooms. We know we have some friends from the Catholic Church here today. We can do it in other communities of faith. We can clean it up. We can clean up the language, which I know sometimes is necessary. We also want to invite you to meet with the cast afterwards, if you like, to take a photo. We've got great climate change photos if you want to, signs if you want to meet the cast. And Jared welcomes you to take any questions. And I just want to say it is truly an honor to be in this historic space and to be with people of such goodwill and such good intention, because isn't that what we need right now? We need ethical humanists. So please welcome Glynis Brooks and Mariah Richardson in Homo Sapiens.
Whoa!
Holy shit!
What are they? And why are they staring at us?
Hold up, they could be dangerous.
If they were dangerous, there'd be a fence, no?
Just let me scan them. Homo sapiens.
No way! These are Homo sapiens?
That's what it says.
I thought they were extinct.
Apparently not.
They're adorable. Hi. Hello. You have any food? Oh, I have some chocolate.
They were the dominant species for 200,000 years, up until about 1,500 years ago, when they precipitated the 6th mass extinction, thus causing their own demise. Careful.
Here. Look, I have some chocolate. 70% cacao. It's really very good. Did you see? It ate it.
Yeah, and it could have also eaten your hand. Didn't you read the signs that say, do not feed the wildlife everywhere?
Oh, they're harmless.
Until they're not.
Oh, come on. They're our ancestors, our kin. If it weren't for Homo sapiens, there'd be no Homo evolutus.
And the same could be said for lions and crocodiles and sharks. And not only would they have taken your hand, they would have taken everything that was attached to it.
Oh, whatever. Can you take a picture?
Seriously?
Hi. Good to see you. Don't worry. I won't hurt you. See? They're perfectly nice.
Okay, fine. But if something should happen, I will say I told you so.
Oh, you're really cute. Hello, guy. See? I think they like me.
Sure they do.
You ready?
Got it.
Oh, take another one just in case.
Okay, I took a few.
Thanks. Let me see. Oh, these are great.
So can we go now? I want to go before the park closes because I don't want to miss the green wing frog exhibit.
Oh. Where did they find them? Does it say?
In a mall in St. Louis.
What's a mall?
It's a big concrete structure where they used to buy stuff.
Like what? Food?
No, stuff, like things.
Why?
I don't know, for fun.
That's weird.
Let's go. Hey, did I tell you that I was thinking about getting a frog 3D tattoo?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, on my butt. A big, bright, colorful 3D tattoo on my butt so that every time I got undressed, it looks like a frog is jumping out of my underwear.
I feel sorry for them. I mean, just imagine being stuck in this park with the last of your fellow sapiens for your entire life.
Okay, I'm gonna go. And if I don't come back, it's because I kissed a frog that turned into a gender non-conforming, charming, and we eloped.
Okay, I'll catch up. It's weird to be looking at your own past. Then again, I can only imagine what it's like staring at your future. And whatever happened, I know it was complicated. I mean, these things always are. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that you tried your best. And some of you effed up. And some of you fought hard. And isn't it wonderful? You evolved. All the mess you went through made you evolve into me, a new species. And granted, it's not the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it's a step forward. I mean, think about it. 6 extinctions. not one, not two, but six. 6 times the earth was nearly wiped out of all life. And I just want to say the odds that you and I would be standing here today, we should just cut you some slack. That's all I'm saying. I mean, no species is perfect. I mean, for all we know, the dinosaurs could have been jerks. It's not like they left a bunch of stone tablets around for us to find out. So, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. You did a lot of things wrong, but you also did a lot of things right. And that's the story that I want to remember. That's the story that I want to tell. That's the story that we need to celebrate. Us here, 6 extinctions later. I'm proud of being your kin. And hopefully, the species that comes after me will be proud of being mine.
They're already gone, but wow, they did a great job. Thank you so much, if you can hear me back there. Thank you to that Uppity Theater Company under the direction of Joan Lipkin for sharing these powerful performances with us this morning about shared humanity and finding connection. And thank you to Jared for helping connect these stories to the work happening right here in our community, reminding us that these challenges are not distant and that our response matters. We are also grateful to have some interfaith neighbors joining us this morning. Following platform, they will be headed down to the Hanky Room. If you are in that group, you will take a left at the bottom of the stairs to meet with our past president and president-elect for continued conversation. Everyone is invited to the larger room downstairs for coffee and connection. You can learn more about our community at the visitors table or explore humanism and ethics by borrowing from our lending library. You may also notice or have smelled tasty smells. So there's a lot of activity going on downstairs. This morning, our teams, members, and community volunteers have been working alongside Chef Shahaka to prepare a fresh vegan meal. After platform, more volunteer teams will continue packing, cleaning, and delivering those meals to unhoused teen neighbors. You're welcome to observe and celebrate that work. Just help us keep the pathways and working areas clear so that our teams can move smoothly through the space. As you move into the week ahead, may you notice the ways you are connected to one another, to this community, and to the world we share. Thank you for being here this morning. We look forward to seeing you again soon. And don't forget to stay for a photo with the cast, a question and answer session with Jared, and to grab some materials from Missouri Coalition for the Environment from the tables in the foyer. Thank you so much for being here today.